Hello and welcome back to the book club, a club where we just talk about books that we've been recently reading. Let me know in the comments if you've read this book and what you thought about it. So I recently finished Murakami's Norwegian Wood and I absolutely love this book. And it's weird to me because I finished this book and I wanted to, go online and see some opinions on the ending because the ending is really left open. It's left for interpretation, and while I have my own interpretation of it, I wanted to see what other people felt and thought about this. And in doing so, I came across a lot of hate for this book. I understand that Murakami has almost a bit of a sexist or misogynistic view on how he writes about women, but it's not something that I picked up on as like a detriment to the book. I think it makes sense for the character in a way, but it's not something that I picked up on personally, and so I didn't really understand the hate for this book because I absolutely loved it. So this is a story about Toru Watanabe looking back on his transition from teen to adult and the pains and relationships and everything that he went through. Having his best friend commit suicide to then go to university and end up falling for the girl that was his best friend's girlfriend, to then see her just slowly deteriorate due to the mental pressure and mental torment of a boyfriend killing herself earlier, to him then finding another girl that he ends up falling for eventually. But then there's this beautiful dynamic of the love that he has for Naoko and wanting to save her versus being saved by Midori and having love for her in that way. It's the save or to be saved, and he doesn't know which one he wants to do. I think every character is brilliantly written in this story. Each character has such a great dynamic, and each character just has their own little quirks and personalities that is completely different to the rest. Relationships like his best friend that he has in university, and the relationship that his friend has with his girlfriend, and how odd and complex that is, only to later find that another suicide has happened in that girl. The ending of this book legitimately broke me. I was like, no. It's such a complicated situation because he finds that he loves Midori and wants to move over to her, and yet feels that if he does move over to her, it's going to break Naoko, and he feels almost guilt for that. He has love for her, but it's too complicated. And then just the absolute sad ending of Naoko deciding to kill herself as well. I really wasn't expecting that at all. I thought she was going to get better. I thought she was going to make it through, and it was so sad to have that reading of just after she died. The start of that final chapter of after Naoko died, I was like, oh, no. And then seeing Watanabe having to deal with that, and I saw one interpretation of this book being it's almost like a depression sickness. Kizuki, his best friend, killing himself, passed it on to Naoko, and Naoko passed on this sickness to Watanabe. What's great about this story though is that from the first chapter it's a flashback, so you know that he's almost makes it through, and he doesn't end up giving into the sickness that his two other past friends did. I think throughout this book, Watanabe is very much focused on other people talking. There's always very much a focus of him being shut off from everyone. He never talks to anybody. When he's down or going through something, he always fades out and lets them talk but doesn't say anything about what he's going through. To me, the ending was him finally opening up to Midori and asking for help. He's asking, like, please come save me from this. And I think that is how he survives the depression and the sickness that Naoko and Kizuki didn't, because they didn't talk about it. Obviously Naoko goes off to the asylum, and she probably did speak about it then, but it wasn't in an open manner with someone that she loved and cared for. That's what I took away from this. I wasn't really too sure about the ending with him being in a place and he wasn't sure of the place he was at, but to me this is just a brilliant coming of age transitioning from that 18, 19 age to 20s and growing up and being an adult. I think that's very much the point of this book, is that it's him coming to terms and starting to understand the downsides of adulthood, the issues and dramas and pains that you have to go through as you become an adult away from school and away from being a teenager. I would definitely very much recommend this book if you have not read it before, and I'm definitely going to be checking out a lot of Murakami's other books because I've seen a lot of them and they sound really interesting. And I really like his writing style. It's not overly complex. It's very much just life, showing life, and I really enjoy the style. So yeah, have you read this book? Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, and I'll see you next time on the book club.